Hey, what's up, bro? Bienvenidos a un nuevo vídeo. Hoy estamos para ir a Fiesta Magistral. Hoy vamos con el evento y estamos con un compa, con un suscriptor, hola. Y bueno, supongo que ya lo conoceréis porque en el directo juguemos, así que vamos a por ello, vamos a ver qué...
Una hora después.
Bro, vete para fiesta, o sea, tira ya para... Si no me equivoco, eran las 14:45, me parecía que era el directo, ¿eh? Vale, bro, creo que sí que hay directito. Hay, en plan, evento. Bro, a ver, ¿ah? ¡Ah, tenemos que ir a la gran pantalla! Tira a la gran pantalla, vamos a la gran pantalla, va. A la gran pantalla, corre, 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 que es para allá. Es la gran pantalla, no te creo. Que lo voy a perder, tío. Es... No, porque es la gran pantalla. Tienes que ir a la gran pantalla y eso no es la gran pantalla, eso es lo que sería la fiesta. Esto es la fiesta. Claro, bro. Corre, corre, corre. Pero que ya lo están haciendo, bro. Y nosotros no lo estamos perdiendo. Corre, bro. What the fuck. Claro, bro. Ya escuchas eso. What the fuck. Ojalá se pudiera construir aquí, tío.
I think we're at a moment where we can actually have a conversation about what that actually means. You know, black culture is celebrated. Black culture is beloved. The black experience that gives rise to that culture, I think is often disrespected, is dismissed, is minimized, or it's just not well understood. But I think we are now at a moment where there's a shift. We're going to have an extraordinary experience together today. We're going to do this town hall. It's called We the People. And what we want you to understand is we aren't just talking to talk. We want to
no
talk
puedes bailar,
so you can take
No se puede
action.
bailar.
And this is going to be an interactive experience. We're going to give you tools, information that you can use in the real world. We want you to screenshot stuff. We want you to invite people into this conversation because that's really, I think, what's needed. We need a bigger conversation. We're going to use technology to do it. You know, for me, Black lives have always mattered. That's not new. Black lives have mattered from the beginning of time. What's new is the willingness of people to talk about it. And we have an opportunity to amplify the discussion and to move things
Si no me
forward,
cabe en el vídeo los
especially
30
today.
minutos de lo que es el evento, haré una segunda parte, en plan, primera parte y segunda parte.
In the country, all in the palm of your hand, including Killer Mike.
Una hora después.
For a long time around these
Es que no se puede interactuar ni...
I wrote about, you know, Philando Castile's murder, which really represents in my book.
Wow.
And I wrote about it from the perspective of being one of very few black people in the office at the time when I was so devastated, so hard to get out of the let alone to see this business as people. And I wrote about what it's like coming into the office and they expecting and might feeling what I was feeling just as humans, as you know, feeling things and feeling like everyone was able to move on like this. It feels so relevant once again now, thinking, you know, 4 years later, here we are again, but the difference is that the response from the rest of the community, folks who are non-black, are finally seeing this moment as a wake-up call to get off the sidelines and get involved and invested in this society. There are a lot of emotions involved trying to get selective action that we all there's so much work for all of you. Sad pressure
But you were doing it when it wasn't cool. Why? Talk about that.
By speaking just about fashion, we were ignoring pop culture, but that also spoke to Black Lives Matter. You're right that there was a lot of sense that there were a lot of people that were like, oh, Steve-O?
No sabes que no solucionan las tiras, porque hay mucho racismo.
Let's talk about that a little bit. You can actually give some advice to people who are working at these brands, whether they're the top or whether they're the intern. These brands are going to have to do some of what you've already done. You're a pioneer that you've been there, done it. What do these brands need to do to get relevant? Catch up. Too little? I mean, what is that when you talk about taking action? Is that the kind of action, or what kind of action might really meet the moment?
Is there something I can do with my contacts, with my experience, with my skill set? What can I uniquely do? I hope everyone's asking themselves that question. And one of my very close friends, Aurora James, and I were having a conversation when all the protests were kicking off about what we want to see from companies. Because we were starting to see all the we stand with the Black community and Black Lives Matter was starting to come from companies that we're just like, how in the world is this by this corporation when they have 0 Black people in their executive leadership team? Something's not adding up. And so we sat there and we thought about what is our ask to brands? So Aurora James, who is my dear friend, and she is a Black business owner. She's a successful accessories designer.
¿Dónde estás, bro?
She decided that she was going to say,
hip hop motivates. It's the voice of a generation, and every generation finds a voice in hip hop. And this new generation is no different. Atlanta artist Lil Baby has really stepped up to the plate. Got a new song he penned in the middle of all this. It's called The Bigger Picture, and he put some visuals to it. Check out the video.
They training officers, the killers, then shooting protesters with these rubber bullets. They regular people, I know that they feel us. These scars too deep, they heal us. What happened to COVID? Nobody remember, it ain't making sense. I'm just here to vent. It happened to one of your people, it's different. We get it, the system is wicked, just learn how to pick it. Knowledge is power, I swear I'm a witness. I know that I'm gifted, I won't go too deep, cause I'm scared they'll get me. Ain't scared to admit it, somebody I can't mention. It's people who can. Well, here's the chance, I won't take a stand, but I'll take a stand for what I believe. Must not be breathing the air that I breathe. You know that the way that I bleed, you can breathe. I never been a fan of police, but my neighborhood know I try to keep peace, so it's only right that I get in the streets. March for a reason, I just on GP. How people die for us to be free. What do you mean? This was a dream. Now we got the power that we need to have. They don't want us with it, and that's why they mad. It's bigger than black and white. It's a problem with the whole way of life. It can't change overnight, but we gotta start somewhere. Might as well go ahead, start here. We didn't have a hell of a year. I'ma make it count while I'm here. God is the only man I fear. It's bigger than black and white. It's a problem with the whole way of life. It can't change overnight, but we gotta start somewhere. Might as well go ahead, start here. We didn't have a hell of a year. I'ma make it count while I'm here. God is the only man I fear.
You know, Atlanta has been the epicenter and the hotbed really of a lot of change over the years, and especially nowadays. It's interesting to see how Lil Baby taps into the Atlanta and brings it to the screen. I mean, that is 2020. That is what it looks like right now in that town. And I think he did a beautiful job at capturing it. I think the lyrics of this thing are just off the charts. He's in Jay-Z territory at this point, Bob Dylan territory at this point. It's bigger than black and white. It's a problem with the whole way of life. It can't change overnight. That's a whole political theory. That's college. I mean, to understand it's not just a racial issue, it's a whole bunch of other issues going on. It takes time to change the economy. The first change has to be in the human heart. And that's what art does. Art moves you. Music moves you. And I'm just so proud that Lil Baby is using his platform to move this whole country forward.
You're there in Atlanta, where certainly there was a recent incident with Broward Brooks. We've been absorbing everything that's been happening in the country up until this moment. So how are you kind of handling all of this emotionally right now?
Man, as an American, it's hard because it's a growing pain of sorts. You know what I mean? We know that our country is progressing. We know that on the other side of that progression, that we all are going to be better. I think our community and people who are essentially descendants of the cornerstone of this nation. And the cornerstone of this nation is the Constitution is important, the Founding Fathers is important, but free labor allowed all that to stay. And as the descendant of a slave, and when I say descendant, I don't mean anything long. My great-grandmother taught me how, in the time of peace, like they are in time of war, because they're organizing effectively, they're causing systemic change in the immediate and not some protracted campaign. And I support that. And plot, plan, strategize, organize, and mobilize. And as long as you keep doing that, you're going to capitalize off the gains that you're making. And I appreciate it. And I don't mean capitalize in a monetary way. I mean, these kids are capitalizing, progressing. Organizers on the ground group level who've been working for years to campaign around police brutality and violence have in an instant been able to organize people to progress law.
Yeah, it's been a lot of impressive moments. I mean, you mentioned about how the young people, they're so organized.
Pero ¿qué le voy a
I think
hacer?
about the progression from, say, Ferguson to now, and it's been pretty outstanding.
Champán y fútbol y rumba, y el reggaetón retumba, la fiesta no para y gastamos la funda, la vida es una y no hay una segunda, vamos a bailar